How to use the controls on a Gen 40. Make sure the unit is plugged in securely to a 110 volt outlet. Press the on-off button located at the base of the unit to turn on the Gen 40. The unit will be in standby mode. The buttons located on top of the Gen 40 are Mode, Oscillate, Mode, which is a tap, Oscillate is a 2-second hold. Tilt, Timer, Timer is a tap, Tilt is a 2-second hold. And then the power on off. How to use the power button. Touch the power button on top of the unit or on the remote control. You will hear a click. The unit will turn on in high heat mode. An indicator light will be red. Touch the power button again to turn off the unit. Note, when the unit is turned off, it will continue to run for several seconds to purge the warm air out of it. How to change between modes. There are 3 modes to select from: high heat, low heat, and fan. After turning the unit on, you can change modes by touching the mode button on the remote, or you can also change modes by tapping the mode oscillation button on top of the Gen 40. How to set the unit to oscillate. If you want the unit to oscillate left and right, hold the mode oscillation button on top of the unit for 2 seconds, or touch the oscillate button on the remote. The unit will oscillate left and right. To turn off the oscillation, hold the same button on the top of the unit or use the button on the remote. How to set the unit to tilt. To have the unit tilt up and down, hold the timer tilt button on top of the unit for 2 seconds or touch the button on the remote. The unit will tilt up and down. To turn this function off, hold the same button on top of the unit or use the button on the remote. You can set the unit to tilt up and down and oscillate left and right at the same time by pressing both buttons one at a time. Please note, the panel on top of the unit and the remote control can be used interchangeably as they are synchronized. How to set the timer on the Gen 40. The timer can be set for either 2, 4, or 8 hours. To set the timer, tap the tilt and timer button on the top. Once for 2 hours, twice for 4 hours, 3 times for 8 hours. A red light on top of the Gen 40 will indicate the amount of time you've selected. Or select the timer button on the remote between 2, 4, and 8. If you turn the unit off after the timer is set, when you turn it back on, it will automatically remember the timer length for the last time it was turned on and will revert back to that time period. If you have any further questions or need help, please contact us. We're here to help.